Affiliate commerce is definitely having its moment, right? After, like we said, a long time of existing, but not necessarily being considered, not necessarily getting the best valuations in the marketplace. You're seeing companies in the space now receive huge valuations, huge multiples. And there's a good reason for it because it's a great way to diversify your revenue base. Just like we're talking about, if you're forecasting a 10% decline in ad revenue, say, on your site, but you could more than make it up by adding affiliate, right? Why would you do it? And every content site is doing this. They're all adding affiliate because it's a no-brainer. Maybe before they didn't have to, and now everyone's focusing on it. And the rise of creators has helped a lot too, right? Because that's the creator model. Definitely made it go more mainstream. And then to your question about business intelligence, yeah, as this has gone more mainstream and as more and more people are doing this, now everyone wants to optimize it. And you're sitting in the perfect spot, John, and I think we are as well.
I'm John Wright, and you're listening to Affiliate BI, the business intelligence and affiliate marketing podcast brought to you by StaffStrong. So, welcome to the Affiliate BI podcast. Today, we're chatting with David Shapiro, who's the CEO and co-founder of Affiliate.com, which when I first heard about the project, I was like a moth to a flame. I had to know more. David's an investor and advisor to many businesses that cover marketing. So, David, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. Good to be here.
So first question right off the bat, I'm sure when people hear affiliate.com, they've got some ideas like, what is this? So I want to pass it back to you and tell us what the company does.
Yeah, happy to. And again, thanks for having me here. We're not an affiliate network at all, although we work with every major affiliate network around the world. We're a B2B SaaS data technology business. We have a massive database of well over a billion e-commerce products from over 16,000 merchants around the world. We're essentially tracking everything that's for sale on the internet, and we take all that data, we normalize it, and we make it available to all kinds of publishers in a variety of ways. So, for example, publishers might use our platform and APIs to power content sites, shopping and coupon sites, Chrome extensions, influencer platforms, AI offerings, and more. Anyone who needs access and wants to make it easy to source and find products, merchants, and monetize them. I'll give you an example. In our e-commerce search engine, you could search instantly every merchant in the world that's wearing that sweatshirt you're wearing, John, and I can tell you in a split second, every merchant who sells it, what the price is, when it goes on sale, when it goes out of stock. So you can imagine if you're an influencer platform, or let's say you're a creator and you want to promote that sweatshirt, you got to figure out, what merchants sell it, what the price is, what the commission is offered by that. Then you got to grab the links. By the way, this isn't a reason why most publishers will only promote links to one merchant for every product because it's so much work to figure it out. We automate all that. So then imagine if the creator wants to find that sweatshirt on our platform, they can do it in a second. It's actually not our platform. We power other platforms. So if you're a creator platform who wants to offer affiliate commerce to creators, you want to make it easy for them to find products, to grab links to them, keep the links up to date, keep the prices up to date, et cetera. So that's what we power for lots and lots of publishers of all kinds.
So you're like one of those rare products or services that kind of connects both sides of the fence. You got publishers and affiliates on one side. You've got the operators, the service providers, networks. There's not many that you could actually say will actually connect things.
Yeah, so we don't do any scraping. We work directly with all the networks, and like I said, over 16,000 merchants. We drive them a ton of traffic, and we don't charge them. Our customers who pay us are publishers, but we drive merchants a ton of traffic. We make it easy for merchants to get discovered. And imagine there's so many merchants. It's like opening a store on the North Pole and then wondering where are all the people, right? If you're a smaller merchant, a long tail merchant, right? How do you get found? How do you get affiliates and creators to sign up for your site, to promote your site? We help with that. We put all merchants on the same footing. We make it easy for them to get found. In fact, sometimes we could just automatically promote them. So for example, if a product goes out of stock at Target and we see it's available at, johnsweatshirtshop.com, if the publisher wants, we'll just automatically switch that link for them and promote another merchant.
So you mentioned a couple of different examples of the types of companies that are using your service. I think you said there's Chrome plugins, AI. What were some of the things that you didn't expect that just came out of nowhere? You're like, I guess this is a good use case. And it was more like a pleasant surprise of how useful and dynamic this is.
Yeah, it's a great question. And I'm curious to hear about how you deal with this in your business, but the affiliate commerce ecosystem is definitely having its day, right? You and I have been in this industry for a long time. And for a long time, it was called the less highbrow, less well thought of industry within the broader digital marketing industry. No longer, right? It's everyone wants to talk about this now. You see businesses like Mayfleet just got sold for a huge sum. ShopMy just a couple days ago announced a massive raise at I think a year ago they were valued at $80 million. Less than a year, last March, they just did a raise valuing themselves at 400 million. So there's just a massive focus on all things affiliate commerce. And we're seeing that. And because of that, every type of publisher, broadly defined, everyone who has eyeballs, AI platform creators, websites, shopping sites, Chrome extensions, browsers, every type of publisher who has eyeballs of any kind is trying to figure out how do they make money from affiliate.
I have a
Are you seeing that as well in your business?
Yeah, it's like even for what we do, I'm just surprised at how many rabbit holes we can go down. If anything, I think our biggest problem as a company is we have too many different opportunities. Like we have companies coming to us all the time going, "Can you build this?" And the answer is yes, but then we've got 5 super interesting projects that we can pivot to, and we have to decide or define what our mission and vision statement is. But just seeing how affiliates use the app and learning from them, I just feel like it's just the early days. Like it's like we're on level 1 of 100 levels of data analysis of just even focusing on only analysis.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. We're publisher agnostic, so we work with any type of publisher. But you're right. Any sort of startup, you got to really focus on what you want to deliver. We're, like I said, we're very focused on making our platform agnostics to support any type of publisher. So creator AI platforms are huge right now, right? And it makes perfect sense, right?
Okay, I got a question that it's not scripted and it's just from thinking out loud from having this quick chat. On the online gambling side, they have these things on the operator side called PAMs, or I think they're player account managements. And what I've realized is that for affiliate marketers, that they don't really have these things on their side. Like you might have a CRM, you might have a newsletter, but you don't really have this login system. And I think the login systems that do exist today are things like maybe a Chrome extension, maybe it's like an app. So I think in affiliate marketing, we're starting to see more of these things there. Do you think some of the tools that you have could actually be like a weird hub for these
Yeah,
player account management?
it's a good question. So I think you're talking about, can you customize an experience all the way down to the user level, right?
Exactly.
And you certainly can. I was speaking with a browser, essentially a browser that they manage home pages on browsers, and they want to create a custom experience for each person. So if you're interested, if you're a New York Jets fan, you might want to see just goods to the New York Jets. Whereas if you're a hockey fan, you can see hockey stuff, or a golfer, or if you like shoes, right? So the notion that every person could easily customize the shopping experience that they get, right? Maybe they want to see coupons or products on sale in a certain type of product. Our platform does that easily. That's very routine for us. But absolutely, the best companies are definitely going to that level. You see even creative platforms go to that level where they could really customize what they're showing to each and every fan of a creator.
Would you say that the data that you have, like on a scale of 1 to 10, would you say where are you in the personalization, not just on your company, but how you can use your data to help other companies with personalization? I think this is early
Yeah.
days, but I want to know what your take is.
Yeah. This is a big growth area. We're not a publisher in any way. So we power lots and lots of other publishers, over 10,000 sites use our service. But our job is to make it as easy as possible for them to take our APIs, take our data, and offer it, spin it out and offer it to their users. And we're seeing people do all sorts of personalization, all the way down to the individual for sure.
Are you running your own analytics on the data sets you have? Like where you're basically saying, what is the growth of the inventory? What is becoming more in demand?
Yeah.
What's increasing? What's shrinking? I'm imagining with a large
Yeah.
database of inventory, you could actually just run Python on this all day long.
Yeah. So it goes to exactly what you said before. It's just choosing your battles of where you want to focus. But we're collecting a massive amount of data on products, well over a billion products, and not just product, all the underlying data for each and every product. It's massive, all of which is updated every day. On the flip side, to your point, we're seeing what products are popular, what products are trending, what people are clicking on. There's a lot we plan to do with that in the future. We're not right now just because there's so much demand for our APIs and we're focusing on that. But it's the logical next step. And it's what customers are asking for, right? They want to, once they, like, if you're a creator platform, imagine this, and you could tell your creators, hey, here's trending products. So we are doing that for customers and let the creators promote it. I mean, it would just drive more revenue, drive more sales for them.
Yeah, I could just imagine from putting
Yeah.
my SEO hat on,
Yeah.
it's you would have a field day with this data because then you could
Yeah.
publish like probably daily case studies or just daily data sets where media is always looking for unique data to tell a story.
It's
And
definitely, and it's definitely daily because things change every day. Products come in and out. Think that as well, don't you? At scale, I'm sure.
a little bit, what I find is just it's really interesting seeing all the companies going, yeah, I can't find this data, so I'm just going to create a company and like literally build the data sets or literally use other platforms that have data and basically refine it once more to basically create that data set and get that story.
Yeah. And merchants, by the way, want this data as well. We're focused on publishers at the moment, but merchants very much want this data as well.
Yeah. Do,
Right.
do you s- do you see with a lot of the tools on the market that things are becoming more accessible for affiliates where you don't need to have 10 people like to be a big company. You don't need lots of investment. Like you can actually jump in.
Yeah, that's a great question. What I see the best companies doing is focusing on what they're good at. I'd say a lot of Chrome extension owners are really expert at media buying, right? User acquisition. Creators are really excellent at creating content that can fit their audience. None of these people want to deal with all the back ends of what your platform offers, right? Reporting analytics or what our platform offers, merchant product discovery, keeping links working, et cetera. So they're using companies like us and that frees up their time. So you can do a lot with not a ton of people, right? You don't need our system automates it completely. Your offering, I know, automates all the analytics and reporting completely.
As much as we can. It's not a fun job of what we do, but I guess it's we both have our own stories about finding a gap in the market and going, okay, it's on paper it didn't look like a sexy road path, but I want to throw that question back to do you see a stronger interest in the last 5 years where investors are going, I want the picks and shovels of the industry. It's not like I'm a publisher or a big publisher that's doing 50 to 100 million per year. It's these weird companies that maybe aren't easy to explain what we
Yeah.
do, but then they're like, wait a minute, there's value and power here.
Yeah. First of all, there's a massive long tail, right? I think there's something like 800 million WordPress sites, right? Every one of them could use your service or my service. And that's just websites, right? There's so many different types of publishers. And that, like we talked about before, as affiliate commerce has really gone mainstream and everyone's focusing on it, everyone's trying to figure out how to be most optimal, how to drive revenue the best way they can, et cetera. And they're looking at services like yours and mine for sure. It's not a coincidence that I'm doing what I'm doing, right? We see this happening, we saw this happening, and this is why we're in this business. I imagine it's the same with you.
That's why I appreciate being able to have you on and just ask the questions and go,
Yeah.
how do I get better at trying to predict the future? It's by working with companies that they're in front of that future, but they're also creating it.
Yeah. The last thing a creator or a small website owner, or even big website owners want to do is deal with all this stuff that we're talking, right? It's not their forte, nor should it be, because they would spend, someone's going to do it themselves. They would probably spend 10 times what it costs to license your service. And it'd be a lot easier to work with you. The same thing with us.
Yeah, I'm sure you get this all the time. It's, oh, we're going to build this in house. And then a couple months later, they're actually, I don't really want to do that anymore.
Like I said, yeah, the best companies are not even trying because they're focusing on what they're good at. And can you imagine a creator trying to deal or an influencer platform wanted to deal with this? They don't want to, and they shouldn't.
Yeah. Pivoting a little bit, talking about first party data, and it's something I've been writing about recently. I think first party data is becoming more important from a different context that Google's been trashing affiliate sites. So this has been going on for the last year and a half. And I think it's put more emphasis that people need to find clever ways of owning their own data. So what's your take on not just
Yeah.
first party data, but how this relates to both being a
Sure.
publisher and then going, what other data and inventory can I have?
Yeah. So this is a big question. It's a great question. Look, you're right that every publisher is known for years not to be reliant just on Google, but it's easy to get addicted to it. So most publishers were, right? Most publishers were, so not most, so many publishers are focused and reliant, were totally reliant on SEO. As that went completely, not completely away, but in a huge way that went away in the last year, right? I've talked to lots of sites whose traffic dropped 70%, 80%, literally overnight. Imagine waking up in the morning and 80% of your business is gone, but it's because they were relying on SEO. Now, the traffic didn't go away entirely. It just went away to those sites. So obviously, if there's losers, there's winners, right? So who are the winners in this? We saw UGC sites as huge winners. Reddit, right? As an example, creators, AI offerings, right? Just go to Google and do a search. Many of your answers you'll get right in the AI offering at the top. So they're the winners, right? The content sites have to react to this, right? And they're now saying, how do we diversify? They've always known they should do this, but now they have to do it. So it's not even a choice. And a lot of people are doing a very good job of it. People are driving traffic to their sites from YouTube, from social. Newsletters was always big, but it's now much bigger. Things like that are definitely taking a center stage.
Yeah, it just reminds me because I had Noel Spagna from The Motley Fool on recently.
Yeah.
And of course, what do they have?
Yeah.
They are an affiliate program and a publisher, but a publisher that has subscriptions. And I just think about how many public affiliate companies I've read where they sold that arm of their business while all this Google mayhem is going on. I'm like, that actually might have been the most valuable part because the subscription is, even if it's small revenue, you
Yeah.
have first party data.
Yeah. One of the solutions that we offer is a price watch solution where any publisher could just add a capability for users to get notified if a product they're looking for goes on sale or the price drops or whatever. It's super useful. One of the things publishers also love about it is it requires the user to put in an email to get notified when the price drops. So it's a great way to collect email. I know many publishers who don't rely on SEO at all, right? Publishers who have extraordinarily profitable businesses and it's entirely based on social, like for example. So there are ways to do it. It's hard and it's very hard if you grew up relying on SEO.
Okay, I got a challenging question and I'll see if I can word this properly. So, what I've seen in the past like 10, 15 years, like affiliates that would be doing, let's say, Twitter, X, or Facebook or Instagram, they're basically putting offers, like just tracking links on a post. But obviously, it goes without saying, there's a lot of problems there. There's no geo targeting. That data can expire. It's very easy to have that data itself becoming incompliant or incompliant in a different market. Would you say that the inventory stuff that you're working on might have a weird future connectivity into social platforms where it's like you've got these more native ads built in? Do you think there's a future there or is this coming?
Yeah, it's here now for sure. Not so much at the social media company level, like TikTok or Instagram, but it's at the companies that are working with them. So link in bio is very popular now. A lot of the companies we're talking about, Shopify, LTK, goes on, are using are using link in bio, right? Because that's what TikTok allows. Or that's what Instagram allows. Um, but they're also incorporating all these new technologies into these offerings to make them better. You'll see this some of the social media platforms try to do it directly themselves as well. But everyone is all creators are reliant on these platforms, right? And how do they monetize off of them? They're either selling directly on them or they're driving traffic off of them. And link in bio is a sort of obvious way to do that.
I guess we're talking more about like programmatic advertising, where it's like, how can you make this programmatic,
Yeah.
automated at
Yeah.
scale? And then, of course, there's got to be some personalization in there at some point.
Yeah, so most of these customers of ours will use our a redirect link, right? So we could then tailor the results for whatever the publisher wants. It could be tailored to the person's interest, it could be tailored to their geo, it could be tailored to whatever they want. But you need a way to be able to identify the user, what the user's interested in, and then serve them up a relevant offer. Like you said, the old way of just throwing up so everyone sees the same thing wherever they are in the world, it doesn't work. A lot of publishers I talk to ignore different geos. They might say, oh, 10% of our traffic comes from Scandinavia. We're going to just ignore that. It's not worth it. But 10% of revenue is huge percentage of their EBITDA, right?
Yeah.
Especially if it all drops to the bottom line if you could figure it out.
Would you say that tracking links could be one of the biggest pain points in affiliate marketing? And I'll give you the brutal example. When I use Ahrefs and I look at who's linking to FTX using an affiliate link, and I can find you probably about a couple hundred pages. Like it's been a couple of years, FTX has been out of business, but the internet is filled with dead tracking links or ones that expire, or probably ones that are actually just like they're dead weight without people even monitoring what's behind it. Do you see a future where links are going to get smarter and there's going to be better tools?
Yeah. So for sure getting smarter, but I don't, it's a problem what you said. There's a lot of problems with the affiliate marketing ecosystem. A lot of things have not evolved over the last 20 years, say. We did an analysis of a site and 20%, a very popular, well-known publisher, news site, and 20% of their links went to dead pages. So imagine if 20% of your links, and it's pretty much all of their long tail content, but it's content, it's reviewing products, right? You do a review of the best sunscreens for the summer, and then 6 months later, 20% of those pages are dead. Again, it's a huge revenue hit, but imagine the EBITDA hit because they would all, if those links worked, it would all drop to the bottom line. It's probably 100% or more revenue, EBITDA improvement. And that's just an example. Merchant and product discovery is another huge issue. It's an issue that we solve, right? Letting people find products that are for sale, showing multiple merchants. Not everyone likes to shop at the same merchant. So the best companies are now showing, giving people choice. Google actually talked about SEO. Google's guidelines, SEO guidelines, recommend to publishers and give publishers credit if they show multiple merchants who sell a product, because Google's view is that you should give the consumer choice, which is great. So there's a lot of reasons why you want to show multiple merchants to your users.
Yeah, it sounds like actually the discovery and the knowledge base is actually a major problem that most people haven't been able to articulate. Like we've experienced this on our side where I have customers that use our app and they're like, what other brands could I promote or recommend? I know how to reverse engineer that, but that answer changes with time. I can't just give you the same answer in 2 months from now.
Yeah. Imagine even on the price of something, shopping extensions do a good job of this. If you're about to buy, imagine you're about to buy something from Target and we could show it's $10 cheaper at Walmart or vice versa, right? There's real value there, right? And a lot of companies are not focusing on this, but it's moving in that direction because they should be. And it's not hard to do anymore.
And would you say that I feel like I'm asking an obvious question from your point of view, but that with the whole ecosystem of publishers and networks, that people are going to want more done for you services. No one's going to reinvent your wheel. So they're going to use like these tools to go, how do I make life easier for a publisher? Like a quick example, if you're an influencer, do you really want to be dealing with multiple networks or multiple programs, or do you want something
Yeah.
consolidated?
Yeah. It goes to the value of your business too. Making things easier for publishers is huge. Tell me if I'm right. When I think about your business, I imagine there's me, and again, I could be wrong. Tell me, you'll tell me there's maybe two broad subsets of customers who might use you. One is customers who you just want to make their life easier, and they want to make their life easier, and they use you for reporting analytics to understand picture of their business, et cetera. And that's very valuable and that's great. The second set of customers is doing all of that, but then they're also using the data they get from you to drive their business, right? To drive revenue. Maybe they're using it to improve their media buying, for example, right? They see what's working in real time. They can improve their media buying. That's when you start adding tremendous value, and that's what we see customers or publishers are looking for, right? Tools like yours and ours that can help them drive their businesses.
Yeah. And just to add to that, what I've learned, I think this is the luxury of us being in the space we are in, because people say you're not competing with me and you're a service provider. So they start opening up and sharing what works or doesn't work or their strategies. And I just think it's infinite rabbit holes to go. How deep can you go on data? Like I've got one affiliate customer over here in the corner that basically would say, actually, our sales are relevant in the UK based on the weather. You have worse weather and it's like the sales go up. And that sounds obvious, but you just think, does that make a difference of when you want to actually activate your paid marketing campaigns? And for some of these people, the answer is completely yes.
Yeah, absolutely. We see that on the publisher side and also on the merchant side, right? Because merchant might say, "Oh, you're recommending our competitors, but we're after driving traffic to them." So you see it both ways. It's the same thing with what you're talking about on the publisher side, right? We work with a lot of influencer platforms, right? I want them all to succeed, and it's great. I don't. It's not like I favor one over the other.
Do you think we're in the era now of big data in affiliate marketing? Are we here or do we need a couple more years?
What do you think?
I think it's a bit of both. I think we're early days. I know in trying to analyze things from like a certain publisher side, like with our customers going, we don't see the data of our users, but imagine if we could and get them to submit the data in a centralized database and give that as feedback. What I do know about some affiliate managers is they're always asking their publishers going, how's my program doing in relation to our competitors? And I think this data has been around in other industries outside of affiliate marketing. But the irony is that affiliate marketing, we think should be super advanced. But I know in the iGaming space, it's early days. I think most people,
Yeah.
they don't have the answers.
That's what I think. I think it's coming, and in some ways it's already here, but it's definitely early, right? The amount of data that we're harnessing, that we're now sharing with publishers and merchants, and you're doing the same, is huge. But it takes time. A lot of merchants and publishers, I just have been doing things certain ways for years, right? Years and years. I'm still surprised, for example, and it's a little bit off topic, but when I see very big publishers, or very big creators, some of the most popular creators in the world apply to merchants and they get rejected or they get auto rejected, right? There's improvements that need to happen throughout the ecosystem. And data, big data is certainly one of them. But it's coming. You can see it. And I already see a lot of companies using it.
Maybe I'll ask the generic AI question, but I think everyone's been trying to rush into AI. But would you say from your point of view that as much as you probably have maybe an AI strategy, that because you're maybe a heavier data company, that you could actually just focus on being that, and people, if they want to be AI and process data, they can actually come to you? What's your take on it?
Yeah. So AI is great for us because, like I said, we're publisher agnostic. So we'll be powering a lot of these AI companies. But it's a big threat. It's a huge threat to a traditional content site, right? If you're just look at the Google results and the AI answers we'll get on the search page, right? You don't need to necessarily go to a content site anymore. Sites have to figure out how to diversify their traffic. If not, they're in big trouble for sure. But like I said, the traffic is not disappearing. It's just going to other places. So for us, we're in a good position. But if you're a content site, yeah, you got to figure out how to diversify your traffic.
Yeah, my quick answer to that is either you need to be a product or you need to be a data company that has unique data sets, or you need to be media where you're just capturing attention, and whether it's entertainment or
Yeah.
infotainment.
Wow.
I think it's those three pillars are what affiliate marketing already is right now.
Yeah, so I agree with that, but I'm not negative on content sites. Like I said, there are hundreds of millions of content sites that all make a living, right? People make a living on these sites, right? And they're fine, right? There's challenges, of course, but it's not like they're going away. They have to figure out certain things like how to diversify the traffic. But it, it, it's it's amazing to me, and I'm always reminded. I know it's obvious, but it's amazing how big the world is. Every time when I think I see it all, I'll see another tons of companies or several publishers that are massive. And I'm like, how have I not heard of them? They're huge, right? It's a very big world, and content sites have challenges, like we said, but they're doing fine. Like they're still in business. I was talking to a big publisher, a big content site that's forecasting 10% year over year declines in revenue in perpetuity. It's just what they're expecting to happen. But they're also diversifying in other ways to grow their businesses. I think that's what you'll see the smart content sites doing.
And what do you see of the future of affiliate marketing as it intersects with business intelligence?
Affiliate commerce is definitely having its moment, right? After, like we said, a long time of existing, but not necessarily being considered, not necessarily getting the best valuations in the marketplace. You're seeing companies in the space now receive huge valuations, huge multiples. And there's a good reason for it because it's a great way to diversify your revenue base. Just like we're talking about, if you're forecasting a 10% decline in ad revenue, say, on your site, but you can more than make it up by adding affiliate, right? Why would you do it? And every content site is doing this. They're all adding affiliate because it's a no-brainer. Maybe before they didn't have to, and now everyone's focusing on it. And the rise of creators has helped a lot too, right? Because that's the creator model. Definitely made it go more mainstream. And then to your question about business intelligence, yeah, as this has gone more mainstream and as more and more people are doing this, now everyone wants to optimize it. And you're sitting in the perfect spot, John, and I think we are as well.
Yeah, it's B2B, boring to boring, but some reason boring became cool again.
It definitely feels like that in at least in the affiliate commerce industry for sure.
Yeah. David, thank you so much for doing this. I want to pass it back. How can people get a hold of you?
David at affiliate.com.
All right. And I'll include LinkedIn for good measure. And it goes without saying, we'll have affiliate.com in the show notes. Thanks a lot for doing this.
John, good seeing you, bro. Take care.
Thank you for tuning in to the Affiliate BI podcast. I'd like to take this time to ask for a small favor to leave a rating and review wherever you listen to your podcast. That helps us expand our reach to rank higher in podcast directories and reach more listeners.